Well, that's how I know they're just tempting law enforcement to get them into a civil case, because if they were there to actually solve the problem, that wouldn't be happening. Exactly. They wouldn't be saying fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. They're there just to rile the crowd, to get a action. They're trying to see if law enforcement's going to take him in on stuff. Has nothing to do with them actually wanting to make the town better.
No, I agree 100%.
So Johnson is spreading misinformation again. We do not do this to get arrested. We do not do this to just get people riled up and egg people on. We're not looking for law enforcement to arrest us, because trust me, if we really wanted to get arrested, we could get arrested. Okay? That's not why we do this. And obviously, there's going to be some change. And I'm just going to give you a small example of my education, because, you know, we do know exactly what the fuck we're doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't want to use bad language to you, but how about this? How about you check out this video? I'm going to show you a small couple of snippets from it, and maybe you'll understand that we know what we're doing, and it's not to egg people on. It's to make sure that people are doing the right thing. You may not like the way that we do things, but you know what? I think we know the law a little bit better than law enforcement around here does. Check it out.
I could do some further research before you go on.
You know, hold on. Before you go and give me the lecture, how about before you come up all hard on somebody, you ask them what they're doing?
Use profanity, Josh. Do the research and find out whose property you're on, because you may be breaking the law.
It's public property, I can tell you that.
Stating that as a fact.
I am. I'm stating it as a fact because I like with you guys.
Well, now you're using more profanity.
I can use profanity. It's the First Amendment. You cannot restrict my speech, not unless it's fighting words. If I use it to emphasize my sentences, I can use it to emphasize my sentences. If one man's curse word is another man's lyric.
It can be an issue. Josh, we're going to do the research. We're going to
do the research.
Have a good day.
You too.
I know that was a lot of profanity. And I know a lot of you get all upset about the F word and whatnot. I'm sorry. I should have put a warning label at the beginning of this video. But I don't know. I think the law's on my side. Let's check out what Audit the Audit has to say.
Officer 8632 claims that Mr. Lloyd's use of profanity towards him could be considered disorderly conduct, and that he has the authority to restrict Mr. Lloyd's speech. According to Section 13-2904 of the Arizona Revised Statutes, quote, "A person commits disorderly conduct if, with intent to disturb the peace or quiet of a neighborhood, family, or person, or with knowledge of doing so, such person makes unreasonable noise or uses abusive or offensive language or gestures to any person present in a manner likely to provoke immediate physical retaliation by such person." Additionally, Section 23-3 of the Phoenix City Code states that, quote, "Every person who maliciously and willfully disturbs the peace or quiet of any neighborhood, family, or person by loud or unusual noise, or by tumultuous or offensive conduct, or by threatening, traducing, quarreling, challenging to fight or fighting, or who applies any violent or abusive or obscene epithets to another, is guilty of a misdemeanor."
Oh, snap. Oh, no. I think I might actually be in the wrong here. Well, let's continue.
However, statutes like these must be read with the protections of the First Amendment in mind. And as the Supreme Court held in the 1971 case of Cohen versus California, which Mr. Lloyd paraphrased in his conversation with Officer 8632, the First Amendment prohibits a state from criminalizing the mere use of profanity, quote, "absent a more particularized and compelling reason for its actions." The decision also recognized that speech does not simply communicate information. Rather, it conveys a specific dramatic, emotional message created by the words the speaker chooses. The court concluded that the government cannot forbid particular words without also running a substantial risk of suppressing ideas in the process, and that, as Mr. Lloyd pointed out, quote, one man's vulgarity is another's lyric.
Wow. Oh, I thought I was in the wrong there for a second. Man, good thing I know case law. Just because I don't spout off the name of it. It's a good thing I can recite it, right? Usually gets me out of trouble with cops that want to try and stick bullshit charges on me. Or people claiming harassment on me. Well, let's continue.
It should be noted that the fact that Mr. Lloyd used profanity in conversation with a police officer is also relevant to the analysis. In the 1987 case of City of Houston versus Hill, the Supreme Court stated that, quote, the First Amendment protects a significant amount of verbal criticism and challenge directed at police officers. Speech is often provocative and challenging, but it is nevertheless protected against censorship or punishment, unless shown likely to produce a clear and present danger of a serious, substantial evil that rises far above public inconvenience, annoyance, or unrest. Here, the court would likely conclude that because Mr. Lloyd's use of profanity did not rise to the level of fighting words, it was protected by the First Amendment, and he therefore could not be convicted of disorderly conduct for his speech.
Well, I mean, there you have it. There you have it. And you know, I gotta tell you, I'm hoping that this actually gets something across to people. Because for real, if you're going to get all butthurt over a little couple of words, I don't know, man. I kind of wish we went back. I mean, I can understand Aguilar going backwards now. Maybe they want to go back to a generation that actually, you know, people had thick skin and you could insult somebody, or, you know, you could say something minor and, you know, like, I don't know, calling them a pussy or you won't do nothing. Oh my God, so thin-skinned anymore. I mean, hell, it takes a lot more than that to get me to jump out of my vehicle and get into a fight. But then again, I call myself a pussy bitch all the time, so I don't know. But what grade did I get on that?
Mr. Lloyd gets an A for remaining relatively polite and respectful throughout the encounter, understanding and exercising his First Amendment rights, and filing a complaint with the appropriate authorities after the interaction. Although Mr. Lloyd volunteered his name when he was not asked for it or required to provide it, in response to a comment on the original video, Mr. Lloyd explained that he did so intentionally, stating that, quote, this is how police and everyone that supports the police say we should act with the police. Didn't work out how they say it works out. It's funny to me how I act the way they say I should, and I still got that encounter.
There you go. I got an A. And, you know, I know it was only a little bit of knowledge there. Just a little bit. But just think about that. That's just a little bit of knowledge. Just a couple pieces of case law. And the case law is not very long. And it's not hard to look up. But just think about it. That little bit of knowledge, you know, helps me get away with murder wherever I go.
What I don't understand is that other party, the Joshua Lloyd, is not from here. He's from Arizona. TJ is not from here. He's from Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
The only one that's a local is Robert Aguilar.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why they're even in this town. I'm assuming because, again, they get to get away with murder, essentially.
So now we come back to the whole, you're not from here, you need to get from here, we don't understand why you're here, you just need to leave. So can I ask a question? Because I know a lot of these people weren't born in Aguilar, and I know a lot of these people weren't raised in Aguilar and haven't lived there all their life. So is it a you have to be born in Colorado type thing? Is that how it goes? Because I know a lot of these people, they're like from Texas, they're all good. You know, as long as they go with the status quo, they're all good. They still get a little bit of flack because they're not from here. Okay. So is it a Aguilar native thing? Like Aguilar native thing? Or a state of Colorado thing? I mean, I don't just go and get random birth certificates. I would show you the name and all the information, but I don't want to put all that information out there. I would have to redact some of the information, but best believe this is mine. So do I get all the cool local benefits now? Do I get to learn the cool Aguilar handshake? The secret handshake that only, people born in Colorado get to know? Does that change anything? Whether I was born here in Colorado or not? Does it change anything? Because now I'm from here. Do I need to get from here? Just wondering. Please tell me.